Well, I suppose you can't win them all if you're the Colorado Rockies. They do end up winning the series, but unfortunately are unable to secure the sweep as they lose to the Arizona Diamondbacks on Wednesday afternoon at Coors Field. Your final score 9-4. Rough day on the mound for the pitching staff, in particular, starting pitcher Austin Gomber. Lineup, while they finished with 8 hits, wasn't that competitive today. Score a couple of runs there in the ninth inning, but unable to secure the series sweep against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Still a good series for Colorado, but at the end of the day, would have loved to have gotten that sweep, and so it goes. But we'll break it all down for you on this afternoon's episode of your Locked On Rockies postcast. Let's get into it, folks.
You are Locked On Rockies POSTCAST, powered by Mile High Sports, part of Locked On Sports Denver on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
It is your Locked On Rockies postcast. Hope everybody is doing well out there on this Wednesday afternoon. Unfortunately for the Rockies and their fan base, they do not get the job done today. Your final score, 9-4. Colorado falls to 59-64. That would be nice. 59-94. Got my 6 and 9s upside down there. But 6 games away from 100 losses. I think that's what I was trying to go with in my brain, and I had a little bit of a brain fart there. But 59-94, that is the Rockies' record, of course, last place in the National League West, and Arizona gets a much-needed victory to keep their playoff hopes alive. They are now at 84-68 on the season. They had lost, I believe, 4 of their last 5 games entering into this one, so a good bounce-back spot for Arizona. But at the end of the day, as I said in the open, you can't win them all if you're the Rockies. But today was a disappointing one because it was, unfortunately, the same old song and dance that we have seen from Colorado over the course of this season, in particular with starting pitcher Austin Gomber. Just got off to an awful start, was not really able to give the Rockies much on the mound today, so that is frustrating. But today's episode of your Locked On Rockies postcast is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. More from our friends over at Game Time in just a little bit. But as I mentioned, Austin Gomber, not a good day at the office, unfortunately for him. His final stat line tonight, only 2 full innings pitched. Wasn't really able to give the Rockies anything of substance on the mound, and he got absolutely rocked, did Austin Gomber. 2 full innings pitched, 6 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and allowed 3 home runs in his start. He's now 5-11 on the season. And, the bullpen, not completely awful. Jeff Criswell was able to kind of be that stopgap for the Rockies, gave him 3 solid innings of work today, only allowed 3 hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, but no runs, which is good from Criswell. Victor Vodnik back in the mix as well. He had a pair of walks and a strikeout, but did not allow a run. Anthony Molina was solid with 2 innings of work and 2 strikeouts, but Tyler Kinley has not been good here as of late. I don't want to say hasn't been good, but he's been up and down for the Rockies this season. He struggled, only able to record 1 out in a third of an inning pitched, and he allows 2 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 1 walk, and no strikeouts for Tyler Kinley. His ERA spikes back up above 6 to 6.05. And believe it or not, Justin Lawrence was the one who was called on to do cleanup duty, and he gets the job done with 2/3 of an inning pitched and gets the Rockies out of that inning. But all in all, 12 hits allowed from the Rockies pitchers today, 9 runs, 7 of them earned, and 5 walks, which is just not going to really get you anywhere. And they gave up those 3 home runs, but of course, all of those are accredited to Austin Gomber. And on Gomber in particular, if you're a regular listener of the Locked On Rockies postcast, you know that the first inning has been his kryptonite. If Austin Gomber is able to put forth a solid first inning of work, odds are he's going to have at least maybe not a quality start every time, but he's going to be serviceable for the Rockies. And that was not the case tonight. He has an ERA, like I said, in those double digits in the first inning, and he had been pitching better as of late, but they say history repeats itself, and history has not been kind to Austin Gomber overall in his time with the Rockies. So, he's had some nice moments in particular in his last handful of starts. Today was not one of those, as again, 2 full innings pitched, 6 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, 1 walk, and a strikeout. And let's go ahead and sequence this for you guys. He got Ketel Marte to strike out for the first out of the inning, but then it was all downhill from there. All 3 home runs from Austin Gomber coming in the top half of the first inning with 1 out. Corbin Carroll blasts his 20th home run of the season, this one to right center field. And, Corbin Carroll is one of the better players in Major League Baseball right now, so you kind of just tip your cap on that. But the problem is allowing things to compound for Austin Gomber. It's one thing to give up a solo shot, right, and then retire the rest in short order. It's when you let the solo shot blossom into more problems that causes, Austin Gomber to spiral out of control there on the mound. So Rockies already down 1-0 with just the second at-batter of the game through his at-bat. And then from there, Randall Grichuk, old pal, hits his 19th double of the season. This one to center field. And then the long ball is going to catch up to him as well as not the long ball, but Christian Walker hits an RBI single. This one to left field, and that brings around the speedy Randall Grichuk to score. So 2-0 essentially in the blink of an eye. And then it starts to kind of get away a little bit from Gomber. Pavin Smith draws a walk. You just can't allow these free passes because they come back to bite you. And then Gabriel Moreno hits an RBI single to center field. That brings around Christian Walker to score before Jake McCarthy mercifully grounds out to end the inning for Austin Gomber. But, before the Rockies can even get 3 outs to start this game, they're already down 3-0. And that's the thing with the Rockies, guys, is when you dig yourself into these holes early, I mean, you'd rather dig yourself in the hole early than later in the game, but your margin for error just goes down. And when you're down essentially 3-0 in the blink of an eye, it's already an uphill battle that the Rockies are trying to have to figure out how to navigate. And so Austin Gomber, unfortunately, just did not do the Rockies any favors on the mound today. Like I said, down 3-0 after that first inning. But continuing along, Rockies go down 1-2-3 there in the bottom half of the first inning, and then it's right back to work for Gomber. And his defense didn't do him any favors. Brendan Rodgers committed an error there in the top half of the second inning that allowed Gerald Perdomo to reach base. And then he got Ketel Marte to line out again. But then, unfortunately, like I said, history repeats itself. Corbin Carroll came up to bat there with 1 out in the top half of the second inning, and he was just all over Austin Gomber's pitches today. His 21st home run. He hits his 20th and his 21st home run of the season in the same game here today for Arizona. And that puts, I don't want to say this game out of reach, but, you go from 3-0 to 5-0 in essentially less than a half an inning, and things start to spiral out of control here a little bit for the Rockies, and they were just unable to claw their way back. And then, unfortunately, Randall Grichuk then hits his 11th home run of the season. So there's the 3 home runs for Austin Gomber in less than 2 full innings of work. He is able to get out of the inning, gets Christian Walker to pop out, gets Pavin Smith to fly out, but Austin Gomber would end his day after those 2 innings pitched, which is, unfortunately nothing out of the ordinary for Austin Gomber this season, but it's certainly frustrating, especially with how the Rockies have been playing as of late. And he just got absolutely spanked today on the mound, which is, just very, very, very unfortunate because the Rockies have been playing some good baseball. Corbin Carroll takes him deep twice, and old pal Randall Grichuk doing the same. So that's all she wrote in regards to the pitching today. Like I said, I gave you some of the numbers of the bullpen guys as well, but just not good enough when you're down 5-0, and your offense is a bit erratic. I know they had a good night last night, but you can't count on this Rockies lineup to put forth quality at bat after quality at bat each and every game, right? Which is why last night was so fun, because that has not been the norm for the Rockies this season. But you kind of have to take it as it comes, and unfortunately for the Rockies today, unable to secure that series victory, which I'm a little disappointed about. I thought the Rockies have been playing some pretty good baseball here as of late, and it is just one loss. It's not the end of the world. They're going to lose 100 games regardless. That type of stuff is inevitable. But it is one of those dynamics and situations where, it felt like you had the Arizona Diamondbacks with their back against the wall after the first 2 games of this series, and you're unable to just kind of see it through and secure a series sweep, which would have been a very good feel-good sweep for the Rockies, as they have, I think it's only 2 or 3 series left, 2 with the Dodgers, 1 with the Cardinals, if I'm remembering here. Why don't we check real quick? I know those 3 series, are real. Let's see here. Yep, they'll travel to LA for a series with the Dodgers beginning tomorrow. And that'll be an interesting one. Friday, Saturday, or no, excuse me, that series starts on Friday, so they'll have tomorrow off, which is nice. And then the Cardinals come to town on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week before they end that series back in LA. And that'll be a 3-game set to end the season. So we'll see how it all kind of shakes out. But all right, let's hit our first break. When we come back, we'll talk about the lineup. Not a lot cooking from them tonight, but we'll break it down as best we can, or this afternoon, rather, I should say. So stick with us. We'll be right back here on your Locked On Rockies postcast in just a few minutes. All right, you guys, let me tell you about my friends over at FanDuel. You've heard me talk a lot about FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Well, we have something a little different for you. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then with a YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel at any time. Just visit FanDuel.com to download America's #1 sportsbook. I already have it downloaded on my personal device. I am a big FanDuel user, guys. Thursday Night Football coming up tomorrow. That's a great opportunity if you're not signed up with FanDuel already. And let me repeat this. You're going to be able to get some awesome stuff from our friends over at FanDuel. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. And guys, NFL Sunday Ticket, NFL Red Zone, these are absolutely essential to the viewing experience when it comes to football season. So be sure to get in on this offer from our friends over at FanDuel. If you like to bet sides and totals, as I do, FanDuel is a fantastic book for that. If you're into more of those same game parlays or player props, I literally can't think of another sports book that is better for it than FanDuel. Be sure to check them out, FanDuel.com/lockedon. Let them know that Locked On Rockies sent you, and good luck on your wagers this season, folks. All right, you guys, and let me also tell you about our friends over at Game Time, because Game Time is by far the best place for you to get your tickets. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for your favorite live events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out all of the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. And let me tell you about some of my personal favorite features on Game Time. I told you about Game Time Picks, but my #1 favorite feature on the Game Time app and on their website is their all-in pricing. When you toggle this feature, it shows you the total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. There is nothing worse than when you're going to buy tickets for a sporting event or a concert, and let's say it's $40, and then you get to your cart, and it ends up being $65 or $70 because of these BS fees. Well, you can toggle that all-in pricing feature on Game Time, and they'll make sure that you get your price total up front. Plus, you can get a view from your seat with their panoramic view seat viewer in the app before you buy. Plus, the lowest ticket price guarantee, or Game Time will credit you not just 100% of the difference, but 110% of the difference. Let me say that again, folks. The lowest price guarantee, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Plus, your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. I'm an active Game Time user. I saw Billy Joel at Coors Field earlier this summer, and I got my tickets through Game Time. I got that $20 off using that same code, LOCKEDONMLB. So be sure to check them out and let them know that Locked On Rockies sent you. What time is it? It's game time. Okay, welcome on back into your Locked On Rockies postcast. I am your host, Aniello Piro. Hope you guys are doing well out here on this Wednesday, September the 18th, right around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You guys can follow me on social media at Media by AP, and make sure to subscribe to that Locked On Sports Denver YouTube channel. That way you guys never miss an episode of your Locked On Rockies postcast. I'm also the host of the Locked On Broncos postcast, as well as the Locked On Buffs postcast. So make sure to subscribe. That way you guys never miss an episode of your favorite Locked On Sports Denver postcast hosted by yours truly, and appreciate you guys as always. And again, you can follow me on social at Media by AP. But all right, let's talk about the lineup here tonight. You also got to give credit where credit is due. Eduardo Rodriguez held the Rockies in check this afternoon. He went 6 1/3 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed, 2 runs, both earned, 1 walk. But are you ready for this? Drum roll, please. 11 strikeouts. The strikeout bug is back for the Colorado Rockies. I talked about that a ton. And he was credited with all 11 strikeouts for the Diamondbacks today. I mean, you have, let's look at this, 2 2/3 worth of pitching from the Arizona Diamondbacks bullpen. Not a single strikeout over the course of that span. All 11 strikeouts coming from Eduardo Rodriguez. So clearly he had the Rockies off balance today, as they were unable to really generate any sort of momentum. I mean, looking at it, like I said, they were down to 6-0 essentially in the blink of an eye. They do a decent job to the Rocks of at least crawling back and putting up a couple of runs there in the bottom half of the third inning. Sam Hilliard led off the frame with a ground ball to left field. Love to see that. And then Jordan Beck proceeds to strike out before Aaron Schunk hits a single, which advances Sam Hilliard to second. So you've got runners on first and second with 1 out. And then Brenton Doyle doing what Brenton Doyle does. He hits a single as well. That loads up the bases with 1 out for the Rockies. And then you know what comes next. There's 2 guys that make this offense go. Brenton Doyle and Ezequiel Tovar. Brenton Doyle helped load the bases with 1 out, and Ezequiel Tovar helps bring some runs in with an RBI single to left field. That brings around Sam Hilliard and Aaron Schunk to score. Brenton Doyle was able to end up on second at that point, and that at least narrowed the gap a little bit to 6-2. But again, folks, this is why Austin Gomber's outing, or at least start, right? I guess I can't even say the start to his outing because his outing was so short, but this is why this stuff is so critical. Let's say the Rockies are only down 3-0 entering the bottom half of the third inning with this situation playing out for the Rockies. It could be a 3-2 ball game. But, you know, as good of a day as Tovar had and a nice hit and putting the bat on the ball and bringing in a couple of runs for the Rockies, it only makes it 6-2. You're still down 4 runs at that point. So it's just so important for the Rockies to try to limit the big innings. And unfortunately for them today, Austin Gomber just gives up 6 runs in 2 innings of work, which is just absolutely brutal. Again, Corbin Carroll had his number. Rando Grichuk with a home run as well. 3 home runs for Austin Gomber in the time that it took him to record 6 outs. Just think of that. That is absolutely brutal. But, you know, outside of that, pretty much crickets from the Rockies. They ended up putting up a little bit of fight there in the bottom half of the 9th inning, but it was too little too late. You know, they were able to get to Justin Martinez, or excuse me, Joe, how do I say this? Mantiply, I believe that's his name, out of the bullpen for the Diamondbacks here. He replaced Justin Martinez, and the Rockies in the bottom half of the 9th inning got off to a good start. But again, the game was already so far gone that there's only so much you can do. Jacob Stallings leads off with a single, Hunter Goodman with a double, Sam Hilliard with an RBI single. That brings around both runners to score, and boom, just like that, it's 9-4. And then from there, the Rockies go quietly, Jordan Beck grounding into a double play, and then Aaron Schunk flying out to center field for the final out of the game. So I don't want to say that this was a totally winnable game for the Rockies, but self-inflicted wounds and poor pitching out of the gate from Austin Gomber doomed them as soon as this game had started, which is unfortunate because, like I said, I thought the Rockies have been playing pretty good baseball as of late. They still got an opportunity to play spoiler. You know, obviously the Cardinals are down and out. I wonder how Nolan Arenado feels right now, to be honest with you. He wanted to leave Colorado to play for a more competitive franchise, and the Cardinals have been anything really but that since his time in St. Louis, which is weird because they have talent, or had talent, maybe not as much this year, but it's definitely interesting. But they got the Dodgers for 2 series, 6 games, 6 out of the next 9 games to end the season. So we'll see how that all kind of plays out for Colorado. But just a disappointing game, disappointing outcome for the Rocks today, as Austin Gomber unfortunately digs the Rockies into a hole that their lineup is unable to crawl out of. So off day tomorrow, reset day for them, and we'll have to see how they respond when they travel to LA to end that or to play that series against the Dodgers. So stick with us, folks. We'll hit our final break. When we come back, we'll put a bow on the show already and get you guys on your way on this Wednesday afternoon. So stick with us. We'll come back and do just that right here on your Locked On Rockies postcast. Back in a few. All right, we got a new sponsor alert. Let me tell you about our friends over at Arena Club. And guys, I like the hobby. I like to rip the wax. And I'm excited to tell you guys about Arena Club because for most of us that like collecting cards, the idea of spending like $2,000 or more on guys like a Luka Doncic rookie, Ela De La Cruz, or Mahomes rookie cards just isn't in the cards for us. I love collecting, but that's some serious money to drop. I mean, that's over a month's worth of rent right there. Thanks to slab packs from arenaclub.com, now it's possible to score gem mints for a fraction of their retail price. Every card that I listed was hit from the last week's Arena Club slab pack drop. Arena Club is the only repack that provides real value, a complete view of all possible cards, and clear hit rates for each one. Guys, Arena Club slab packs are revolutionizing the repack game with their transparency. After your pulls are revealed, they'll immediately be placed into your showroom for safekeeping, selling, trading, or auction. The Arena Club grading process is accurate, fast, and transparent with a full grade rationale provided and explanation of how your card was scored. Whether you're buying, selling, trading, or displaying, Arena Club is the card collecting platform you have to check out. Right now, you can get 10% off your first slab pack or card purchase by going to arenaclub.com/lockedonmlb and use code LOCKEDONMLB. That's arenaclub.com/lockedonmlb, code LOCKEDONMLB for 10% off your first purchase. And guys, I don't know about y'all. Like I said, I like to rip the wax. One of my favorite things to do is like go on TikTok and watch people rip wax and just, all these breaks and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes it could feel, a little off-putting. These are expensive breaks to get into. Our friends over at Arena Club are going to streamline this process for you guys one more time. Let me tell you about them. Arena Club slab packs are revolutionizing the repack game with their transparency. After your pulls are revealed, they'll immediately be placed into your showroom for safekeeping, selling, trading, or auction. The Arena grading process is accurate, fast, and transparent with a full grade rationale provided and explanation of how your card was scored. What are you waiting for, guys? Get 10% off your first slab pack or card purchase at arenaclub.com/lockedonmlb and use code LOCKEDONMLB. Good luck to you all out there, and be sure to check out our friends over at Arena Club. Use those promo codes and let them know that Locked On Rockies sent you. Okay, welcome on back into your Locked On Rockies postcast here. Aniello Piro broadcasting live from the Mile High Sports Studios here in Denver, Colorado. You guys can follow me on social at Media by AP. Also, make sure to subscribe to that Locked On Sports Denver YouTube channel. That way, you guys never miss an episode. But in conclusion, guys, a disappointing game for the Rockies today. They fall to 59-94, Arizona at 84-68. Non-competitive game, unfortunately, because of the pitching. Offense didn't really do too much either. 2 runs in the third and then 2 in the ninth. And that's all she wrote off 8 base hits. They did commit 2 errors as well. So it wasn't all just Austin Gomber. The errors were brutal for the Rocks today too. But as we get ready to get out of here, guys, let's take a look at the upcoming series between the Rockies and the Dodgers. It's a 3-game set with game 1 being on Friday evening. First pitch will be at 8:10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time at Chavez Ravine. The Dodgers not as mighty as they have been in years past. They're obviously a great ball club, but they're only 89-62. I shouldn't say only, but sometimes we're used to the Dodgers just kind of running away with things. So it's been an up and down year for them. So that first pitch will be at 8:10 Mountain Time, like I said, on Friday. And then on Saturday, the 21st of September, we'll have a 7:10 p.m. Mountain Time first pitch between the Rockies and the Dodgers, and then a lovely Sunday matinee between the Rockies and the Dodgers as well on Sunday with a 2:10 p.m. first pitch. Looking at it, Kyle Freeland, Cal Quantrill, Antonio Senzatella are all in line to start for the Rockies. Freeland on Friday, Quantrill Saturday, and Senza on Sunday. Let's start with Freeland here. He's 5-7 with a 4.89 ERA and 79 strikeouts. No starting pitchers listed yet for the Los Angeles Dodgers, so be sure to stay tuned to that. But Freeland has been pretty good here as of late. His last start was on the 14th of September against the Chicago Cubs, and he was solid in that one. 7 innings pitched, 7 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. Gave up 2 home runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. So we're all looking for Kyle Freeland to bounce back. I shouldn't say bounce back, but continue along, his trajectory here, because he's been pretty good since coming back off the injured list. September has definitely been kind to him. Only 4 total earned runs in his 3 starts in the month of September. Taking a look at it, on the 3rd against the Braves, he was solid. 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned. Against Milwaukee on the 8th, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run, no earned. And then, as I just told you, against Chicago, 7 innings pitched, 7 hits, 3 runs, all 3 of them earned as well. So only 4 earned runs for Kyle Freeland so far throughout the month of September. And we'll see if the Rockies can get the job done, at least in game 1 against the Los Angeles Dodgers. That would be awesome. But also, it'll be nice to see Antonio Senzatella back out there. He mentioned how he was as nervous, if not more nervous, for his return to the mound from injury than he was when he made his major league debut, believe it or not. So nice to see Senza get out there, scheduled for Sunday. Hopefully that all goes well, and he can build some confidence as the rest of the season progresses. But outside of that, folks, I think we've covered it all. Just a non-competitive game for the Rockies, and we'll see if they can try to rain on the Dodgers parade this weekend. Again, 6 of their next 9 games, 6 of their final 9 games of the season are coming up against Los Angeles. So this is going to be a very familiar opponent. It's been a while, probably June or early July, since these last 2 division opponents played each other, and they'll end their respective seasons. Well, I guess the Dodgers are going to the playoffs, but they'll end the season. The Rockies will, with an opportunity to try to get the best of their rival in the Dodgers. But all right, folks, that is going to do it for me on tonight's episode of your Locked On Rockies postcast. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, you can follow me on social at Media by AP, and make sure to subscribe to that Locked On Sports Denver YouTube channel, so that way you guys never, ever miss an episode of your Locked On Rockies postcast. But Colorado loses this afternoon, 9-4. 59 and 94 on the season, and only a handful of games left to play. We'll break them all down for you right here on your Locked On Sports Denver YouTube channel. But that's it for me on this Wednesday, folks. Enjoy your afternoon and evening, and we'll talk to you guys on Friday night.